Wow, considering the state of events in the world right now, Dynasty did a brilliant job in totally delivering an awesome fourth season. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel Lifestyle Critic. I hope you're having a brilliant day. So in this video we are going to be reviewing season 4 of Dynasty, and I actually really enjoyed season 4. It was a massive improvement upon season 3, and I also think, given the fact of what is happening in the world right now and the restrictions on productions with all of the COVID situation, I think despite all of that they were able to truly deliver a wicked season. I mean, at moments you could really tell that they were constrained by COVID, as they were very limited number of people in certain scenes and they weren't as massive as they were before. But that being said, I feel like as the season progressed you could tell the restrictions were lifting and then it was returning to the formula that we all know and love. But like I said, yet despite all of that, they had a lot of glitz and glam happening in this season throughout, which was really cool. They had loads of twists and turns and true over the topness with all of these elite characters, which really does make this show absolutely brilliant. And also they still packed loads of shocking moments, including the absolutely shocking and devastating death of the Anders character, the introduction of a brand new Carrington sibling in the name of Amanda, and also Fallon being shot at the end of the season. Wow, this season honestly had so many shocking moments, and we are going to be talking about all of that and more, along with some predictions on what could happen in season 5 in this review and breakdown video. So we open up season 4 by concluding the storylines from the end of season 3, which started off with the big wedding of Fallon and Liam, which is obviously going to be a big moment at the end of the third season. But that being said, even though it was supposed to be really extravagant and really massive, as this was the start of season 4, they had to be really creative in how they were going to do this in COVID times, which is why they went into the high school with obviously very few number of people in there. But they did return the psychotic Evan character, who was a big main player in season 3, and it was absolutely devastating and shocking when he stabbed the Kirby character and then nearly killed the Fallon character. But that wasn't the end of the Liam and Fallon relationship troubles, as this was another arc that went across the entire season, which I thought was really great, as they didn't want to give them a happily ever after type storyline, and they definitely wanted to challenge them, and they definitely did challenge them across this season. For example, Liam feeling really inadequate against his wife being this massive CEO boss. Speaking of which, Fallon was obviously very determined and very focused on trying to make Fallon Unlimited really successful, that she ended up neglecting the Liam character, which is really where the Eva character really swooped in there and was truly a meddling master, as she really was getting Fallon out of the picture and getting herself into Liam's picture, which I thought was absolutely crazy. And we also had a returning character from Fallon's past pre the Dynasty show, which was Colin, who was her rival in university and is another competitor within the CEO space. So I feel like all of the dynamism that was happening between the Fallon and Liam relationship was absolutely awesome. And speaking of another relationship, I absolutely loved the fact that they really had at the start of this season Blake versus Alexis. Obviously they've had a lot of run-ins across the 4 seasons so far, but I feel like at the start of this season they really had them at loggerheads, as obviously Alexis was trying to get the Carrington Manor and was then successful in getting this with Jeff Colby, and I just thought that storyline was absolutely wicked. But that obviously wasn't the end of Blake, as they really did do a lot of storylines with the Blake character. I feel like Blake in particular had a true focus, a lot more than he has done in the other seasons, and they really did show what a true ruthless character this is, and how he is also a bit of a master manipulator to be on the same level as Alexis when he was getting the manor back. So I just feel like those storylines with those 2 heavyweight Carrington characters was absolutely wicked. We also had the killing of the Anders character, which was just so devastating, as this is such a brilliant character. I am so glad that they retained this character and he did remain for the second half of this season, as like I said, he's so fun, he's such a brilliant one-liners, and is just such a legendary character. I was a little bit worried that he would be the character that they were teasing that is going to pass away, as obviously the Alan Dale actor is a little bit prolific in having his characters die on screen. So for example, his character has died in Neighbours, in The OC, in Ugly Betty, and now in Dynasty, which is just such a shame. But hopefully we will still see this character popping in every now and again in future seasons. I absolutely love the unexpected pairing of Culhane and Sammy Joe with the hotel craziness that they had to go through. I wouldn't have thought of these two characters together, but actually they worked really, really well together. And even Kirby was in that mix a little bit, but she definitely had her own whirlwind of a storyline, especially with the drugs at first being with Adam and never really truly being able to say goodbye to the Anders character. But the Anders character definitely left her with a bit of a bombshell in terms of having all of the explosive secrets of the Blake Harrington character. Speaking of a character that they did do a lot with actually, by contrast, was the Dominique character. Gosh, she had so many storylines, which is really, really brilliant, as this actress is just so formidable and so Dynasty. And I feel like all of the storylines they had with her and the Jeff Colby character, partnering her up with Alexis, bringing in her husband. At the end of this, her trying to get all of the diamonds, being a true sister in the Carrington world and setting up her own successful brands. I feel like Dominique did so much this season. And then they also introduced a brand new Carrington member in the shape of Amanda. I feel like she is definitely going to come into her own in the next season. Really sad the fact that they really have wiped everyone's mind of the existence of the Stephen Carrington character. I feel like he wasn't even mentioned once this season. I hope that one day he will make a big triumphant return, which would be really, really cool. So those are all of the good storylines this season. However, I feel like there were some other characters that didn't have that great storylines this season, namely the Adam Carrington character and the Crystal Carrington character. I understand that they have to mix certain big dramatic storylines with some lighter storylines, but I feel like with these two characters, they had some decent moments. For the vast majority of this season, I feel like they had a little bit of a personality transplant. But that being said, by the end of this season, gosh, that's when they really did come back into their own, and they were really having some awesome storylines, for example, with Crystal's brother, and with Adam becoming a true murderer again. I absolutely thought it was hilarious at the start of this season, where you were thinking that once again they've recasted the Crystal Carrington character again for a fourth time, but obviously they've retained the same actress, which I think is really, really great. I was thinking in certain moments that maybe this is a bit of a miscast, as the other two Crystal actresses who played the Crystal character were a lot stronger, but I feel like by the end of this season, the Crystal character really did come into her own, which is really, really wicked. But all in all, I feel like the fourth season had some wicked storylines. So I feel like the casting characters in Dynasty are just absolutely incredible, near perfect casting in this show. I feel like they all play their part so brilliantly, and just the world of Dynasty is just so cool, and that incredibly iconic music in the opening sequence just really does set the scene, which really does make this show absolutely awesome. So let's go through all of the main players one by one. So first up, of course, brilliantly leading this show is Elizabeth Gillies, playing the part of Fallon Carrington, just effortlessly playing this character to perfection. Is just so excellent in all of her different mannerisms and just how she is behaving, all of the decisions that she's making. True elitist, but also has a bit of a heart as well, which I think is really, really cool. Really did focus on the relationship drama this season, especially with the Liam character, and then having the Eva character even causing even more chaos in there, and then shooting the Fallon Carrington character by the end of the season, which was just so dramatic and so shocking. But not only that, she had so much more to do as well in this season. For example, all of the business stuff, really ensuring that Fallon Unlimited is a real success with all of the business drama that is happening alongside this, and working with loads of different people, for example with her dad and with her rival the Colin character, and also just loads of drama as well with her family members, trying to help her family. Next up we have Grant Show, who was awesome as the Blake Harrington character. I feel like this actor is so successful within the TV space and the movie space as well, of course, but I just feel like he really plays the Blake Harrington character so well. And like I said right in the beginning, they gave this character so much to do this season. Of course, he has been a big player across all of the other seasons, but I really feel like in this season, he really came into his own. For example, like I said in the beginning as well, his rivalry with the Alexis Carrington character in the beginning was just so iconic, so brilliant. I love scenes with these two cast members together. I feel like they really bounce off each other so well. Of course, loads of issues with the Crystal Carrington character, especially when they were both cheating on each other in the previous season. That really came back to bite everybody in such hilarious consequences, especially when this was happening during Fallon's party. I thought those scenes were absolutely hilarious. Of course, the Blake Harrington character was also running for senator, which was really brilliant towards the end of this season. And I just feel like this actor and this character really was showing that he really is the most ruthless of them all, which I thought was absolutely wicked. We also have Elaine Hendrix returning as the Alexis Carrington character. I absolutely love this character as well, really showing that she really is the true alpha female. Like I said, her battles with the Blake Carrington character were absolutely wicked. Her on-again, off-again friendship and romance with the Jeff character was really, really great. Her on-again, off-again friendship with the Dominique character. I feel like this character in particular really did battle and come into loggerheads with pretty much every single other cast member and character within this space, which I think was absolutely hilarious. She's obviously a very devoted mother, but just goes about it in the complete wrong way, really pushing all of her kids away and then really trying to claw them back in the Alexis Carrington way, and then obviously bringing in a brand new child in the name of Amanda, which I thought was really, really interesting. Like I said, I feel like this character really is going to become massive in the next season, and also with this ending of this character, I wonder what's going to happen in the next season. I feel like they're going to maybe keep this character in jail for a couple of episodes like they did with the Blake Carrington character. I feel like this character, seeing what she would be like in jail, I just think is going to be absolutely shocking, as this character is usually so extravagant and so Dynasty, so I feel like that's going to be a real shake-up for this character. Next up we have everyone's favourite resident nice guy, Adam Huber, playing the Liam character, and for the most part I would say he was just a supporting character to all of Fallon's storylines, but he definitely came into his own when he was so determined to find out the truth and exonerate his father, and that storyline I thought was pretty epic. But otherwise, like I said, I feel like the Eva character really was just meddling and messing with that relationship, and I feel like the Liam character just was so longing for a true relationship with the Fallon character, which I think is really understandable and really sweet from this character's point of view. Next up we have Michele, epically playing the Dominique character. Like I said, I feel like she had so many storylines this season. For example, the ending with her husband returning, obviously all of her brand stuff, trying to have a partnership with the Alexis character, trying to have a relationship with her kids. I feel like this character was so brilliant and truly was a schemer and fitted into the Dynasty world, especially as a Carrington half-sister, so well. Next up we have Sam Underwood playing the Adam Carrington character, definitely not as evil or as cutthroat as he has been in previous seasons. They definitely seem to have redeemed this character, not until the end of this season though, where he definitely became evil when he was really killing people and really framing other people as well. So this really is the Adam character that we all know and love from the previous seasons really returning. I do wonder if this character really did kill off the Stephen Carrington character a few seasons back. Next up we have Rafael de la Fuente playing the Sammy Joe character. In the beginning of this season, he definitely had a lot of relationship triangles. For example, with the Ryan character and the Fletcher character both returning from the previous season, there were some hilarious sequences where the Sammy Joe character had to decide who he wanted to partner up with, but ultimately didn't have either of them by the second half of this season. But when it came to the second half of the season, I absolutely loved it when they partnered him up with the Culhane character and all of the hotel drama that this character was having. For example, with the Leo, the mob boss guy, really causing them a lot of drama from a business point of view and from a life being threatened point of view as well. And then just loads of other La Mirage hotel business happening with this guy. We also had Robert Christopher Riley playing the Culhane character. I really love how this character has advanced so much from being a chauffeur to the Carrington family and now truly being a millionaire in his own right, but is still linked with the Carrington family a lot, especially towards the end of this season, where he was doing a lot of charity work through Blake Carrington. Like I said, a lot of Sammy Joe storylines with all of the hotel stuff and a brilliant friendship. I absolutely love the friendship between Culhane and Jeff Colby. Really is friendship and bromance goals happening over there. Speaking of Jeff, we have the awesome Sam Adegoke returning to brilliantly play the Jeff Colby character. And he had some wicked storylines, for example, opening up this season against Blake Carrington, partnering up with the Alexis Carrington character, which I thought was really, really cool, mending his relationship with the Dominique character and really helping her out, and also helping the Fallon Carrington character out as well. I absolutely love it when this character is true in business mode, as that really is when he comes to his best. However, it was really sad when you saw his illness returning because he wasn't having his pills and feeling really paranoid over the Brady character. Next up we have Daniella Alonso, who is returning as the Crystal Jennings character, the third actress to play somewhat of a Crystal character except this is the recasted version of the Crystal Jennings character that Ana de Barnes brilliantly played. At first, I wasn't sure about Daniella Alonso, as I feel like Ana did such a phenomenal job. As well as the first actress who played Crystal Flores, I feel like Daniella Alonso isn't as great as those two are, but by the end of this season, I definitely feel like she made the role her own. I feel like at the start of this season, and a little bit in the previous season, it did feel as if this version of the Crystal Jennings character has had a bit of a personality transplant. But that being said, this actress was pregnant in the beginning first half of the season, so that's why she wasn't in all of the episodes. And I thought that the storyline where she was dating a bit of a priest character, cheating on Blake Carrington, I thought that storyline was pretty weak. I thought it was really devastating and shocking when she had her own brain tumour and just relying on the Adam Carrington character to really help her out. I thought that was really, really heartbreaking. I thought she really came into her own when her brother Beto came back. I thought that was really, really wicked, really showing all of that sibling rivalry, the fighting over the business, and Beto even came back in the finale with a gun, which I thought was really, really shocking. So I am really hopeful that in future seasons, this character will be really, really wicked. We also had Bella Thorne's lookalike and Maddison Brown playing the Kirby character. I feel like out of all of the characters, this is definitely the weakest one, but that being said, she did have some pretty awesome storylines across this season, for example, mainly going off the rails with her previous drug addict partner, the Oliver character, and her exploring modelling whilst dating the Adam Carrington character. I also really loved her versus Alexis. God, I feel like Alexis really did battle every single person in this show, but I really loved her versus Kirby. As Kirby, you were thinking Kirby really isn't a match against Alexis, but actually she really was able to hold her own, which I thought was really, really great. All of her fighting with her father as well, which didn't really get resolved, which I thought was so sad, although it did kind of get resolved when they spoke to each other on the spiritual plane. Speaking of Alan Dale, God, I am still so devastated that they wrote this character out, as he was such a legendary character and was the ultimate support network for all of the cast members and characters, which I thought was really, really wicked, but really was a shocking moment and really did make its mark in this season. Although that being said, I really did feel like they could have given this character a much better ending instead of just trying to pick some flowers up and then just having a bit of a car crash. As this character's death took place in the same episode that they were rescuing the Liam character, they could have easily had those evil people causing the death somehow of the Anders character and really having him end in a blaze of glory. But that being said, from a casting character's point of view overall, they were absolutely wicked in season 4. So the Dynasty show really is all about the visuals, and they definitely didn't let that drop despite it being in COVID times. I mean, even though the sets were a little bit reduced, especially in terms of the number of people, in certain scenes, I feel like it still was ultra glamorous. All of the parties, all of the locations that they went to, all of the fashion, everything just looked absolutely impeccable. They didn't have as many cat fights as the original series did. I mean, we did right at the end, especially when it was Eva versus Fallon. But outside of that, I feel like they definitely could have had a few more battles between all of the different characters. All of the different set pieces were really, really great though. So for example, seeing the Alexis Carrington character and the Dominique character being stuck in that mine, I thought that was really, really different. All of the plush hotels and places that they visit all looked absolutely awesome. And as the season was progressing, all of the sets did get back to the way they used to look, with a lot of people in them and really cool massive party sequences, which were absolutely wicked. And so from a visuals point of view, despite all of the COVID challenges, I feel like they definitely rose up to the occasion and had a brilliant season. So in terms of comparisons, as awesome as season 4 was, I do still slightly prefer seasons 1 and season 2 to seasons 4, but I do think season 4 is so much stronger than season 3. In terms of comparing it to other shows, I think it's way better than the Gossip Girl reboot. And as much as I love Succession as well, I feel like Dynasty trumps that, as it's just such a brilliant escapist show. I do still think that the 90210 reboot is still a lot stronger though than the Dynasty reboot. So I already cannot wait for season 5. So here are some of my predictions on what I think is going to happen. So obviously they've shot the Fallon Carrington character. Of course, this character is just so important to the DNA of the Dynasty reboot. So I think she is going to survive, but I do feel like there is going to be some consequences of the evil Eva character shooting her. So maybe she won't be able to ever have kids again or something like that. I feel like the Jeff Colby character is also going to shoot the Culhane character, And I wonder, maybe they might kill off the Culhane character, which I think would be really, really sad. I feel like the Alexis character, I feel like she's going to eventually get out of jail. Although I feel like a few episodes will be dedicated to see how this character is going to live in life in jail, which I think is going to be really, really shocking and surprising. But when she will come out, I feel like she is going to be all guns blazing against the Adam character. I feel like we'll also see a bit of a rivalry between Kirby and with Amanda. I feel like Amanda's really going to be ingrained a lot more within the family DNA, and I feel like maybe Kirby's going to feel a little bit threatened by her, and maybe she'll have a lot of rivalry between these two characters. I feel like Crystal needs to have a bit of a sparring partner, and I feel like Alexis will be quite busy, so I wonder if they'll give her Dominique instead, and I wonder if these two characters will have a bit of a sparring match against maybe the Blake Carrington character as well, which I think will be really, really shocking. As we know, the Jeff Colby character is correct in predicting that the Brady character is literally just after Dominique's money, and I think he will actually be successful in taking all of this, but right at the last minute will have a bit of a change of heart, and maybe him and Dominique will actually try to make a go of things. And also, I know I keep saying it, but I wonder if season 5 really will be the moment in which we see the return of the Stephen Carrington character. Like I said, I feel like they've literally just written this character out exactly in the same way that they did with the Crystal Flores character, but this is a true Carrington original member, so surely they have to bring him back one day. But you know, those are all of my predictions on what could happen in season 5. So as I'm sure you can tell, I absolutely love season 4 of Dynasty, literally and easily one of the best TV shows around. Such awesome characters, wicked storylines, wicked locations, loads of twists and turns constantly happening in pretty much every single episode. A brilliant killer theme song, which is just absolutely iconic, and just such wicked characters that you just cannot believe all of the things that A, they get up to, and B, the things that they do. And I feel like, especially given the fact that they were filming this series during the height of COVID, I think is just such a massive achievement in and of itself. And so for all of those reasons, I'm going to give it a massive 7.5 out of 10. Now I'd love to hear from you, so please let me know what you thought of the 4th season of Dynasty in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.